dissolved our ordinary sense of self in the space of emptiness, we're able to identify ourselves as the deity with firm conviction. We see ourselves having the deity's body of light, which is blissful in nature, possesses all the attributes of enlightenment. Okay? This is not how we normally visualize ourselves. Okay? And this is, this is how we would appear to our own mind. This is how we would actually feel. We are not pretending. This is what you're doing in highest yoga tantra. Okay? The convincing appearance of deity is the method aspect. So the divine pride and clear appearance of ourself as the deity is the method aspect. The understanding that the deity lacks self-existence is the wisdom aspect. That's how they combine method and wisdom on the tantric path. Because it is one and the same moment of consciousness that both perceives the Buddha body and comprehends its empty nature, our practice is a simultaneous expression of method and wisdom. So you've got myself arising and believing and being that deity with one aspect of my mind, method, and reflecting and remembering and being with the emptiness of that deity at the same time. Takes a little time to let it sink in, okay? But I just wanted to definitely plant a seed of that, of the essence. In the sutra path, method and wisdom support each other, but they're not practiced at the same time. Okay, in Tantra, that's why it shoots you through more quickly, is due to that. And then what happens is, I can't go into a lot of this because it's secret, and we're running out of time. On the tantric path, when I mention the central channel, and this would be fantastic if you could ever get a teaching on this in the future, once you have tantric initiation, highest yoga tantra, completion stage practice like the 6 yogas of Naropa, or Tumo, which is one of the 6 yogas, different, sometimes they're given, okay? You're going to visualize the subtle energy system. So your body, hollow big body, like a big balloon, inside are the 3 channels. That. You can also visualize a normal body, and then there's energy centers called chakras. I mentioned crown chakra. Well, there's a throat chakra, heart chakra. Chakra means wheel. Okay? One at the navel and one at the sexual organs. They have different shapes, different numbers of spokes. Some go up, some go down, like that. And what you're doing in completion stage practice is, you're getting more of a sense of your subtle mind, and you're placing it in these chakras, cleaning them out. Okay, and you're moving this little light beam around to clean all them out, and what happens is, there's not just the chakras, but those channels are wrapped around the chakras at those different levels. Okay, when you're blissful and happy, they loosen up. In completion stage, effective completion stage practices, they're totally open and pure. That's why we're trying to visualize ourselves as pure, to actualize that process. Your mind creates your reality. But what happens for most of us, as soon as delusion arises, the chakras get gripped by the channels, the knots form. You know, that's why. So some people that are very angry, they've got more happening in their right side channel, very blocked. So when we do the retreat, when I lead retreats, we start with the meditation with something called the 9-round breathing, and we're clearing out the channels. And basically, I'll say, close off your left nostril, breathe in, imagine the air going down through the right channel. Okay, it's now the bottom of the channels are not entering the central channel, they're entering one another. And as I exhale, remove this and go here and exhale through the left nostril, I'm imagining the winds going up and out the left nostril. And that would clear anger and aversion and hatred. Then I reverse, I do 3 breaths like that. I reverse it, and 3 breaths the other way. Close off the right nostril, inhale deeply through the left, 3 times, and release it through the right nostril, and that's clearing attachment and desire. Then I breathe in through both nostrils simultaneously, clearing confusion and ignorance. And imagining now the lower ends of the side channels enter the central channel to try to help me bring the winds in. And I just imagine the winds going into the central channel and the ignorance and confusion dissolving there. So it gives you a little sense of taste, but that's what completion stage practices are doing. And so then ultimately you take a partner. So people confuse Tantra with sex, and they'll say, I've seen posters, tantric sex workshop, right? It doesn't go together, Tantra and sex. It's a misunderstanding, okay? But you can be advised by your teacher to take a partner, a consort, okay? You yourself may feel that you're ready for a consort. However, when you're taking a sexual partner to take a consort to do these practices in union with someone else, ideally male-female, in the way the energy works, is you're doing it, you're already beyond desire. There's no kind of like, hey, hey baby, we're gonna have, it's not like that. You're totally beyond all of that. So you're already at a very high level of realization to effectively practice it. At our level though, if you're not celibate, you can try with your partner to act. First you have to get a high yoga tantra initiation, read some commentaries on completion stage practices, so you can use the energy, direct it in the right ways when you are making love or having sex or something, so that you might be able to actualize some of those experiences. Better to do when you're younger or around your ages, because the body starts to degenerate. And I know His Holiness advised some friends of mine that have been in a long retreat on and off since they were in their mid-40s or 47, and he said something to them about, how old are you now to do these practices? And they said, I think 47, and he said, okay, there's still some time left to be able to actualize at that level. It doesn't mean we stop practicing when we're in our 60s at all, but some of these practices work better when the body is in good shape. Now, some people can keep their bodies in very good shape. For the Lama I traveled with who died at, maybe he was 80, when he got cancer, the doctors that examined him said his body was like that of a 60-year-old. So that would only lend benefit to that, to being a little bit. That's why we do want to eventually get to these practices to make some imprints, if not for this life, then for future lives. And that's why Tantra is also often mistaken as to have something to do with sex. But there's all these other things that go along with it, like that. So, I hope that was helpful.
Wow.
I'm sorry, it's a lot of information, and we could go to another layer with this course, but I just wanted to give you an overview. So slowly listen again and let it digest, but the main thing I would also say is to make sure you have a very good foundation to start to practice, because that will make you start to be hungry and get yourself ready to take a highest yoga tantra initiation. Any other questions?
So I think because we were talking about it when we started the meditation, when I was visualizing, at one point I was looking like from the inside out, like it wasn't my arm, and it wasn't. So do you just reroute the mind, or do you go with that if that happens again?
When you said, so you're looking at your arm, how? Then?
So it wasn't my arm, like it was another arm. So I was like checking it out. But I was looking from I wasn't staring at it, I was looking from
the inside. Yeah, mainly I would, it becomes an exercise where first you have to remember emptiness, that there's a lack of inherent nature of everything. From that wisdom is where the deity arises. And through the process of the three Buddha bodies, then the deity arises, but me is the deity. So it's not another arm, it's part of my arm as the deity.
Right, that's what it felt like, but from what you said, just don't go there, right? Kind of reroute the mind.
For you now? You mean without it? Yeah, I wouldn't visualize yourself like that. No, I just was giving you a little example of what if everything was perfect. It's nice to think about that.
Yeah.
Because in Tantra you can practice that every day. But I wouldn't get too far into that at this point. But it is nice to think about when you have a problem, can I purify this at that level? And then it gets into higher levels of purification as you're practicing Tantra. Okay, well, I'd like to dedicate closing. I'm sorry this is so short. It's such a beefy topic. I would like to dedicate, if there's any positive energy that we've created from doing this, may we find a way to move ourselves into tantric practice when we feel it's appropriate, and be able to be guided by an appropriate guru who is very qualified, and be able to do that through the proper structure of our practice so it fits in perfectly. May we be able to practice it well and keep all of our commitments and vows, because that get there as quickly as possible because so many other beings are suffering. So if I could do that, can we dedicate in this way that we can reach that place where we can most benefit all others? I'd like to dedicate to the long lives, perfect health of all of our teachers, and for all the conflicts on the planet to be pacified instantly. And I'd like to dedicate to Venerable Chen, who is an American nun who passed away about a week ago at Land of Medicine Buddha. And for all the other beings on the planet who have recently passed away, may they immediately take